Okay, so let me just begin here. On October 31st, let me recap for you. October 31st, around 1:30 p.m., our Atlanta Homicide Unit responded to 1205 Metropolitan Avenue. We quickly learned that we had a victim who had come home for lunch and interrupted a burglary in progress. We also believe that at that point the victim and the burglar began to struggle, and during this struggle, the victim was shot by the intruder. As you know, we immediately released video of the person that we believe to be involved that same day. Tips from the community called into Crime Stoppers, as well as good police work, we were able to identify the person in the video. I'm happy to announce today that we have arrested the person that we believe to be involved in this homicide on yesterday's date. Yesterday, on November 22nd, at about 2:45 p.m., the APD Fugitive Unit, along with the Southeastern Regional Task Force Unit, apprehended Jeffries Anderson at a residence located off of White Castle Way in Decatur, Georgia. Mr. Anderson was arrested without incident. He was charged accordingly and transported to DeKalb County Jail. I do want to tell you that Mr. Anderson is no stranger to criminal acts. In fact, he currently had an outstanding warrant for FTA for burglary out of Cobb County and has served 12 years in prison for manslaughter, along with other crimes in his background. So once again, we're very happy to announce to the community that we've made an arrest in this case, and we'll be glad to and happy to take any questions you might have related to this case that we might be able to answer.
Can you tell us, if you know at this point, why he targeted that specific complex and if he was looking for something in that specific apartment?
We don't believe he was looking for anything specific in that apartment. We do know, and we released to you guys as well, just down the street was another video of this Mr. Anderson going in and committing another burglary. So we think he was just a burglar, and he was just in that particular community burglarizing. And you know, because he didn't make any statements to us, he may be responsible for several other burglaries there in that community as well. So we're still, you know, obviously investigating that, but we really don't know. We don't think that our victim was targeted in any way. I think it was just kind of a random burglary, and our victim interrupted it.
How'd you
Can you talk a
ID
little
him?
bit more about his criminal past?
Not much more. He has 7 cycles, just miscellaneous crimes, but most violent was the manslaughter. He served in DeKalb County for 12 years. And of course, keep in mind that he did have a FTA warrant for burglary out of Cobb County. So obviously he's been burglarizing other communities as well, not just our city, but some of the other local jurisdictions around here.
Is he going to stay at DeKalb County Jail, or is the plan to bring him into Fulton County?
No, because the offense occurred in the city of Atlanta, DeKalb County, he'll remain in DeKalb County.
After analyzing the way and looking at the way he carried out his crimes, what, if any, advice would you have to residents not only who live in that community, but you know, as we just live our lives, try not to be victims of crime, especially not something this terrible that occurred there? What would be your advice to people to try to protect themselves?
Well, you know, I want to be very careful, Dieter, because I don't want to, there's nobody's at fault here, but I just would encourage anybody. Same thing I told my kid the same day this happened. Son, if you come home in your apartment and the door's kicked open, don't go inside. Don't go inside. Just nothing's inside of that place that's worth you getting hurt, right? So that would be the message I would share with anybody, is that if you think something's wrong, it probably is, back off and call us, call the police. Make sense? Make sense to answer your question?
How did you ID him, Chief? How did you connect the dots?
Through Crime Stopper tips was one of the big factors. We also have some DNA that came back that matched. So we've got DNA evidence as well, but we began to identify this individual from the community, calling in Crime Stoppers, and then with our lead detective, as you know, was working around the clock, we began to put some things together. We actually had him identified, and the DNA just confirmed it. So good police work, and I want to tell you, that's why I'm so thankful to the community and Crime Stoppers. People know what's happening in the streets out here, and so we just want to encourage people to continue to call us. It makes a big difference in solving a lot of these cases.
We've spoken at extent with the victim's family. Do you have a message for them?
Well, we obviously contacted them right after we made the arrest, and we've been dealing with his brother as the lead family member. And, you know, they were just obviously overjoyed that we'd made an arrest, as happy as you can be in these circumstances. But there's the only worst thing of being a victim of this is not being able to bring somebody to justice for you. So it's always a good call that we get to make during these difficult times for families. And the families were just very, very appreciative of the work that we'd put in. And, you know, it's not over for them, obviously.
This victim did have that surveillance camera in front of his house. I know that's kind of where you released those videos.
Yeah, it actually didn't belong to him.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a neighbor that had the Ring phone ring app, which I love. I appreciate that. Can you imagine how many more days we would have been behind in this investigation without some type of video footage there? I mean, that thing was huge. And then the second video that we released, another huge thing. Tips really started rolling in after that one too, because it was even a better shot of the face. So, yeah. So if you don't have anything else, guys, happy Thanksgiving to y'all, and thank you for being here and helping us get this message out. I appreciate you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right? Thank y'all.